So, welcome to Vox Reviews. Bluetti EB3A is what's up on the table today. Bought this unit with my own money, no sponsorship. PV200 solar panel. Bought it with my own money, not sponsored. Handmade splitters. Handmade extension. Well, actually the extension is bought, but the end is cut, and then, yeah. My use case is running as a UPS for a modem and a router and a splitter, 2 fans, because this wall gets hot, this modem gets hot, this router gets hot, they all get hot. It's a fun time. 8 pounds, 268 watt hours, 600 watts of pure sine wave AC output, 10 amps of 12 volts output, 3 amps of 5 volt outputs split between the 2A ports, and 100 watts of USB-C power. There is a wireless charging pad, although I've only ever gotten it to work with AirPods. It's kind of crap. The light is brighter, and, you know, seizure. My 12 watts of modem, router, and fan splitter, etc. 17 hours. Nah. Try 8 to 10, tops. I've basically tried to run my internet infrastructure off of solar now, because this thing doesn't do AC power. Originally, it was supposed to be a UPS for my 3D printer and the clipper, Sonic Pad. That didn't work out. The AC output does not work. It constantly cuts out. No apparent reason why. I've been on beta firmware, I've done all the updates, I've tried it with and without the grid power. Literally, Bluetti sent a TS400 AC to DC charger so that I could grid charge it, but with the DC port. It's a half-baked solution to a fully cooked problem. It's 198 watt hours, according to my math, not 268 watt hours. AC side of things, despite that it cuts out continually, for resistive loads, I actually haven't run into that problem. So a big old blower works great. A big old fan works great. But a printer, a computer, big computers, nah. Save your money, buy something better. For a luggable, campable, sort of portable, I mean, it has a handle for goodness sakes, unit, I would expect that the main priority would be camping with something like this, and, well, you're going to want to bring your AC power with you. So if you're bringing a laptop and it's not a USB-C to C charging laptop, you're SOL. You want to run a TV off it? You are SOL. If you can run it off 12 volts or 5 volts, this thing's great. If it's just a resistive AC load, great. It charges at about 200 watts max, 12 volts to 28 volts, 8.5 amps. It's luggable if you had to, but for me, it's just going to be a soldering station. I have a USB-C TS100. Well, actually, I guess this is a pine sill, but it's based on a TS100. Takes 5521, or the USB-C. Filament dryer takes 24 volt. You can actually successfully run these off of 12 volt just fine, as I miss the hole like a virgin boy. Turns on just fine, works fine. It'll take a lot longer to warm up, but they do get plenty warm, even on just 12 volts if you have a 24 volt filament dryer. Basically anything that runs on 12 volts this thing will do. Anything that runs on 5 volts, this thing will do. Although I have run into an issue with a couple of battery packs. Not this one, but I have a older LG one that will not charge at more than about a watt on the USB-A ports. But this red one here, USB-C or micro B input, either from an A port or from the C, charges at full speed. 5 volts, it charges at 15 watts. Off the C, it charges at 20 volts, but that's a limitation of the battery, not of the unit. I have a 100-watt laptop, charges that at 100 watts just fine. So the USB is rock solid as far as I can tell. The 12 volts has been running my internet infrastructure for a couple of weeks now without a hiccup, assuming I don't let it die. By the way, fun tip. If you have one of these, add an AC Wi-Fi plug to the grid power. You don't have to unplug it anymore if you're just going to leave it hooked up. And boop, there it goes. So, mine's in silent mode, so it's going to limit it to 100 watts of charging. And the fan won't get too loud. If you turn this up to standard, it'll charge at a combined maximum solar and grid. 265 watts, I think it is. And then turbo, which is 430 watts, which will damage the batteries. They plainly state that in their app, which is actually a pretty good app. It's surprisingly good. The fan on this thing is not something I would want to sleep next to. Even in silent mode here, after a little while of charging, it will turn the fan on, and the fan is not that loud, but it is quite obnoxious. The tone, or pitch, rather, of the... I guess the tone of the fan is just unpleasant. Simple as that. So I'm told from an AC 200, the one of the alternate units made by Bluetti, the AC issue is not an issue on the AC 200. I would assume the 150 as well, based on that, just because Bluetti seems to keep their firmware within their lineup. So like this would probably share firmware, maybe, with an EB3A, but that's brand new and I haven't played with it and I have no actual clue. It's purely speculation. Non-biased review, not sponsored, bought it with my own money. I bought it because of the reputation Bluetti holds, but they've completely pissed that away. It's a good unit if you're going to use it for DC or USB. If you want to run it off solar. I wouldn't run it off grid power unless you're going to literally watch it and you're not going to use AC power, output-wise. I literally sent them a question right after I got it. Hey, when is the AC issue going to be fixed? You guys have a reputation. I assume it'll be fixed. It's been over 2 months now since I contacted them, so 3 total months almost with the issue. And it still hasn't been fixed. I'm on pre-release firmware, the whole bit. I've tried everything. They even sent the TS400 so that I could DC charge it, for example. It's not exactly pocketable, but it's not exactly, a beast either. It's not as advertised. And that makes me sad. Overall, I've found a good use case for it. Just don't buy one unless this is the expectation you're going to set. USB and 12 volt, great. 120 volt, resistive loads only. Thanks for watching, guys. If you'd be so inclined, please do all the usual YouTube things. I'd be ever so appreciative. It really helps the channel out. I'm new here, so thanks for watching.